After a grueling eliminations round, the stage is set for the top 4 teams that advanced in the semifinal round of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. After a win against Chocomucho, PLDT made it to the 3rd spot, which puts them up against Petro Gazz. Meanwhile, Creamline will face F2 Logistics in the first game of the postseason. And joining us to talk about these exciting matchups is PVL analyst Ayel Estrañero. I am personally a fan, by the way, kasi kabatch ko eh. Kabatch ko.
Schoolmates.
But thank you for being here, Ayel. And
thank you for having
obviously, you are updated with everything that is going on. Quickly lang, what are you expecting from these 2 matchups na sobrang dikitan in their previous go-around dun sa elimination round?
The reason why these 2 matchups is gonna be great as it is because it's 4 teams actually, F2 and Creamline. They played in the elimination round. They had 5 sets,
yes.
And it was 16-14 in the 5th set, so the game could have gone either way. The same story with PLDT and Petro Gazz, 5 sets in the elimination round, and the score in the 5th set was 13-15.
Don't remind me, Yel.
So again, it's so hard to say who will get the win, and definitely it is 4 teams knowing how to play the opponent, given the fact that it was 5 sets in the elimination. But now that they have more data of the opponent, let's be more scientific here. They know more about the tendencies of the attackers, the playmaking of the setter. So at the end of it, what will matter the most is who will execute better and who will actually stay most composed, especially in the crucial parts of the game.
All right, I mean, looking back at the previous matchups in the elimination round, F2 Creamline, everybody said it felt like a Ateneo Lasal thing in the pro level. But right now, a huge missing piece for the F2 Logistics is Myla Pablo. How do you think that would affect? And so far, we've seen a couple of players step up into her shoes now. So anong masasabi mo? What do you think the fans will expect from F2 Logistics tomorrow?
Definitely without Myla Pablo, that would be a big missing piece in terms of scoring production because she was one of the best scorers or might have been the top scorer of F2 Logistics in that game against Creamline. So in terms of score production, again, let's go into numbers. Malaki talaga yung contribution ni Myla Pablo. But again, F2 is known to have a deep bench. But again, they're playing against Creamline that's very dominant in terms of attacking. They're number 1 in spiking, they're number 1 in serving. That's why you need everyone to work well in terms of the defense on the side of the F2 Logistics.
I want to stay with this matchup right here. Alam natin, Creamline is Creamline like what you said, but their only loss was against F2. Is there a psychological effect, a psychological, kumbaga, tayo pinakamalakas supposedly, pero ito lang ang tumalo sa atin. And is there kumbaga may kumpiyansa ba coming in?
Definitely. Now, F2 being the only team that beat a dominating team like Creamline, they will surely come in that game having that confidence, knowing that they can snatch that game away from Creamline again. But again, it's semi-finals. It's a higher level of competition. Again, they know how to play each other. And again, it was a 5-set game, 16-14, so it can go either way.
I mean, looking at F2 Logistics, they are one of the best, if not the best team in terms of floor defense, headed by Don Macandili. And their main guy naman on the side of Creamline is Gia. As you mentioned, talagang na-trigger niya ang kanyang mga attackers. And but let's move on to the other matchup, Petro Gazz and PLDT. All women in red, again, face-to-face, previously a 5-setter match. This time, how do you think the dynamics will change, especially it's the semifinals?
No, it's gonna be very different because it's 2 different systems as well. Petro Gazz, they really plays a low fast sets. On the side of PLDT, they're not as fast and as low as Petro Gazz, but their system works for them. But again, Petro Gazz is full of veterans in terms of spiking as well. The offense part is really good. But on the other side, you have Catarado, who's number one in
Right,
digging and number one in
exactly.
receiving, na halos buong court na namamanya in terms of defense. So it's gonna be Catarado is gonna step up well. And Mean Mendres also, who is actually the top scorer of PLDT. So in terms of scoring, production, attacking, a lot will be really put into her, pressure will be put into her, because for sure Petro Gazz will really guard her well, especially in a top scorer siya. They will try to stop her.
Well, I have the privilege to sit in between two girls who obviously are very known and are volleyball legends with your regard. Unahin kita, Z, gusto ko lang tanong because a five-setter,
Right.
gaano ka nakakapagod yun, not only physically but mentally?
I mean, physically, obviously, it depends also how long the sets are played, each and every set.
May
Average-
31,
exactly.
29.
A set usually average about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And tapos, character na yan at the end of, like, let's break it down per set. So every set, yung mga 20 to 25, that's character. So same goes with the whole game. The fifth set, that's character na eh. And it's really gonna boil down to who wants it more.
And to add to that, I think also, especially in the semi-final rounds, you have a starter, but you want to make sure that your second stringers will be able to contribute from the start that they're inside the court. So that's gonna be very important as well for all the teams in the semi-finals.
You've obviously played in five-setters and you've covered five-setters. Saan mas nakakapagod?
Oh, definitely the five setters.
Yung naglalaro o yung nagko-cover?
Oh, both.
Both, no?
It's just as thrilling and as nerve-wracking as when you're playing. Definitely.
Do you have, can I put you on the spot?
Oh, okay.
And, Sino,
Expected this
sino
from me.
tingin mo sa kanila?
Oh, no.
Bawal ba?
Dito.
Bawal pa yun dito.
Off the record.
Off the record. Mamaya pag-usapan natin yon.
Alright.
But we still have time for one more question. What can you say about Tots Carlos na she's slowly becoming one of the faces of the league? Actually, she already is one of the faces of the league. And how do you think her role will be entering this game, especially against, again, a team na tinalo sila?
Oh, very important. I feel like Tots Carlos has stepped up big this conference, especially with the absence of Eliza Valdez, who has also been one of the top scorers for Creamline. No, she really embraced the role of being an outside hitter. She
Right.
played opposite in the previous conferences. Now she's an
Right.
outside hitter, and she has really embraced that position, and she has been very efficient as well.